Hi guys, welcome to Virtual 4-H Camp Abstract Canvas Painting Session. I'm going to go over your supplies that you may have received in your bags and show you some supplies that I have at home that I'll be using today, that if you have those, they work just as well. So in your bag, you probably received the canvas cardstock paper, a little square like this, and you received a paintbrush. This is what you'll be using at home. I'm going to show you what I'll be using. So today I'll be using an actual canvas. So if you have one of these and you want to do this later at home for yourself, absolutely. I also want to note that this is a reused canvas. It had a painting on it, and I took acrylic white paint and covered it up so that I could reuse it today. Okay? For this project, you will also need some type of tape. This is masking tape that I'll be using today, but you may also use what's called painter's tape. It's blue or green. And I will be using a bigger paintbrush. If you did not receive a paintbrush in your bag, find a paintbrush at home. I'm sure you have one. Any kind of paintbrush will work. For the art, we are using acrylic paints. They are different than watercolor. You don't use any water at all. I'll also be using something to put my paint on. If you see here, I'm using a small amount of paint to begin with. We'll go over how much paint to use on your canvas when we get started. I also have paper towels available, and if you're painting on a surface, like in your kitchen, I would cover up that surface with newspaper or paper towels. All right, to get started, you're going to take your canvas. Remember, today I'm going to use this bigger one. And we're going to begin to tape it off in your abstract pattern. The reason it's called abstract is because it's totally up to you what it's going to look like. It doesn't have to be what I do today, and it doesn't have to look the same twice. So the tape I mentioned, again, this is masking tape or paper tape, but you can use painter's tape as well. We are going to apply it to our canvas. I went across this first corner to have I could show you what I've already done, and then we're going to put some more tape on here to continue our pattern. So I'm going to go back over my pattern, my tape that I already have, to continue my pattern. You see, I'm just laying it down. No rhyme or reason. That's just the way I like it. Okay? And you're going to tape off your entire canvas. I'll do another one just so you can see. And of course, on the smaller canvases, you're not going to need this much tape. You'll want to go over the edge of your canvas. If you can't get it the first time, just keep repositioning it till you can get it. All right, there you go. Now, if I was going to continue to do this with you, I might take a piece of tape and put it here, and then one down here, and I just repeat it. And again, if you don't like it once you have it taped, lift it all off, save your tape, and redo it. You can paint this way or this way with a canvas like I have, but you should have a square, so no matter how it turns, it's not going to matter. Okay? Now, when you get ready to start to paint, I mentioned using a small amount of paint. The reason I say that is because if you get it really wet, with paint, it takes a really long time to dry. And too much paint will get under your tape and bleed. What is bleeding? It's just where your lines aren't straight and neat, and it kind of changes how your abstract pattern will look. So I have started one already, so you can kind of see what I've done. I didn't really have a plan when I started. I just kept painting until I liked it. I want you to notice that I have painted over the tape in several places. That's okay. I didn't use a ton of paint again so that it wouldn't bleed underneath my tape and make a mess. And I've left some blank spots because I didn't really know what I wanted to do. But I'm going to take my paint, I'm going to repeat my gray here, and I'm going to bring it up here. So as you get started, I'm just going to work down away from the tape. That way I don't get a bunch of paint underneath my tape. Doesn't matter the kind of paintbrush you have, how big or how little. I'm bringing it all the way to the edge of my canvas. Okay? I need a little more paint. All right, I'm going to apply a little more paint to my canvas, covering up those spots that look a little bare. You're not going to get it into your other colors because your tape is there, okay, as a guide. All right, I'm bringing the paint around the side. That just makes it look neat and finished. I noticed that I have a few spots here that need a little more paint, so I'm going to go back over it lightly. I don't need a ton. I don't need for my canvas to be wet with paint. I want it to dry pretty quickly. Okay? And the rest of my canvas is pretty much dry, but I noticed up here in this gray that I have a couple of spots that need for me to go back over. So I'll just do that while I'm got my gray paint out. All right, that looks better. Okay, let me set this down. Now I'm gonna get back out your canvas. Now there's not much of an edge here. So you don't have to do a lot of painting, and you might not even have to. As you bring your tape around, you don't have that wide edge like I do here. But it wouldn't hurt to go ahead and continue your paint over the edge if your tape comes that way, okay? So then that way it looks like a really nice finished project. All right, so on my canvas, I've decided that I'm going to leave a couple of my spots white. I just thought it sounded fun, okay? All right, I'm going to look one more time. Looks like everything's pretty good. Now you're ready for the fun part. You're going to see your design. So you're going to carefully peel off your tape. You're going to start here at the edge and peel back some corners. I would let your canvas completely dry before you do this, okay? It looks like I don't have any bleeding. I just pull my tape off. It reveals my pattern. All right, you're going to continue to do this until all your tape is off. I don't know if you can see. See, no bleeding. That's what the tape is for. Again, I didn't use a ton of paint so that it wasn't very wet. Really, my canvas probably dried in about 10 or 15 minutes. With your canvas, it probably even take less if you don't use very much paint. Okay? So I won't continue to peel this off, but this is what this is kind of going to look like when you're done. Doesn't have to look like mine. It can look like anything you want. Okay, that's the whole idea behind abstract painting. It's just what you want to create. All right, let's go back over our supplies and things you'll need to do. All right, you're going to get your canvas and your paintbrush from your bag. All right, you're going to need acrylic paints, not white watercolor. Now remember, you want to ask mom or dad where you should paint, because acrylic paints don't clean up off of clothes and surfaces like watercolors or tempera paint, if you know how to use those as well. All right, maybe some paper towels, and of course you're going to need your tape. Remember, this is masking tape, but you can use painter's tape. I hope this was fun for everyone. And enjoy the rest of your virtual 4-H camp. Bye.